I'm Nevada, and I'm an instructor here at Barre Fitness Yaletown. And I'm joined by Jess today, and we're going to be showing you some rolling you can do with a foam roller to help work out some of that stiffness you can get when you're doing a lot of bar classes or maybe a lot of bar videos. So we're going to do a little bit of rolling and a little bit of stretch. And we're going to start with our thighs because that is one of those zones that can get really, really tight when we're doing lots of PAs. So we're going to start with our roller out like this. We're going to take our hands forward. Our hands and arms really drive us in this. So we're going to place our thighs on the roller and then take our weight down to the forearms. We're going to try to keep the core pulled in while we do this to support the lower back. And then we're just going to start a gentle roll forward and back along those muscle fibers between the knees and the hips. We want to avoid rolling over the joint. So just taking it back and forth, taking some nice big breaths here. And as you go, you might feel like you've hit some hot spots or some sort of lumps in the muscle. When you come to one of those, you can stop on it. You can bend and stretch that leg out, which gets you right in there. And then you can roll below it, bend and stretch, roll above it, bend and stretch. It's really sort of up to you how you do it. You can go back to the long rolls, up and down, do the other leg. So really listening to your body here. It'll tell you where it feels good to stop and when you've spent too much time on it. You don't want to go too hard. Now the other thing you can try here is turning your heels together, toes out in your first position and rolling that way. It sort of takes you along the inside edge of those thighs. And then you can try the opposite. So the toes turn together, you've got your little pigeon toe position, same thing. And that gets at the outside of those thighs. Yeah, so just going nice and slow there, just really lengthening through those quads. So this is getting to muscle tension, and it's also helping to release and hydrate the fascia in the body. And the fascia runs through the whole body. This is really, really, really beneficial. So I encourage you to pause the video, take as long as you like on those quads, and then when you're ready, we're going to flip around and go into our calves. So those calf raises can create a lot of tension in the back of these legs. So the way I like to do this one is to take the hands behind me, or if it's too challenging on the wrist, you can always have your back against a wall. We're going to cross one foot over. And let's start with the roller right down at the back of the ankle. So it's sort of behind the heel there. And we're just going to start rocking the legs side to side across the roller. Now you might not feel much to begin with down here. It'll depend on where you're holding your tension. And then we're going to start slow circles of that bottom leg. So you're going into a point and then a flex. You can try going in both directions with this. And then after you've done a couple like that, we're going to gently move the roller up a bit. So we're coming up the back of the calf there. So we moved it up a little bit. Same thing, side to side. Rolls in one direction, rolls in the other direction. And you're going to keep experimenting. Keep moving it up in little increments, trying those side to side rolls. You can feel sometimes it's almost like you're going over, like you're strumming strings in the back. You can take it all the way up, right into the meat of the calf there, almost at the knee, but not quite. Good. This is another one where you can bring your tailbone off the floor using your arms and go back and forth, kind of like you're kneading dough with a rolling pin. And again, you're going to want to do both legs, so you can swap over so the weight is on top of the other leg as well, and do the other side in the same way. You want to take as long as you like with this. Doing lots of breathing. Feel free to pause the video at any point. Try some of those. See if you can find hot spots here. And they might be different on each leg. So one, you might feel it up high. The other one, you might feel it down lower. Totally depends. So those are your calves. And when you're done with those calves, we're going to move it up the legs. We're going to go into the hamstrings now. So let's bring it forward. For these, we can use our nice strong bar arms to hold us up. So we're gonna come right up so our bum is lifted off the floor. We can do this on both legs, rolling back and forth, drawing those tummy muscles in to help support. Or we can add a little bit of weight, taking one leg on top and just doing one side at a time. Now remember, these muscles that we're rolling, they go all the way up to the seat and all the way to the back of the knee. So we're going in between those two spots. Good. Now something I'll mention in all of your rolls is you can do little wiggles that kind of go side to side. Sometimes that's nice and it can sort of jiggle and separate those muscles away from each other, getting a little internal stretch in there in the back of the thighs. So again, like with the other ones, take your time, lots of breathing. Feel free to pause the video and come back and join us when you're ready. The next one I'll show you is for your seat, so your glute muscles. So we're gonna come right up and sit on our roller. This is one of my favorite ones. And we're gonna take our right foot over our left knee here. So this one takes a little bit of coordination. We're just gonna tilt over to the side that has your knee up on it. So we're gonna roll down to that side, our hand supports us, and we're just gonna roll back and forth. Now there's a little special spot right in here. You will find it, I promise, if you take a moment or two. And sometimes it does take a moment or two to relax and sort of wiggle around and find it. And when you're on it, you will know. And then just back and forth, coaxing those muscles into a little bit more of a relaxed state than they were maybe when you started. Now, of course, you always want to do this sort of rolling when you're nice and warm. So after you've done a workout, or after you've done a video, or maybe even after you've had a nice warm bath, that's a great time to get in here and work these muscles a little bit. And then we'll do the other side, same thing. And just like always, you might find that there's a real difference between the two sides. So just breathe into it if you have one side that's a little bit more intense than the other. Good, and be experimental with sort of the angles of your legs, the angles of your body. All of this is gonna feel different for every person. So just, I found the spot. She found it. Me too. Yeah, so again, feel free to pause the video, take a while here. You can go back and forth between the sides. And then when it feels like it's over, give it a break. You don't want to go too long now. All right, and then we're just gonna stretch out those legs. So we're gonna take our rollers away and we're gonna stretch our lower body so we're nice and relaxed to finish. All right, so for our stretch, we're gonna start by stretching those quads, the first thing that we roll. So we're gonna come on down to our side here. We're just gonna have our bottom leg bent nice and easy, and we're gonna grab a hold of that top foot. You can draw that foot in towards your tail. And if you wanna increase the stretch here, you can almost press the pelvis forward a little bit. So we're lengthening through the front of that leg. Good, so we don't wanna have our knee up here like this. We wanna draw it back so we feel that nice stretch. Taking big, deep breaths into it. You can always do these stretches before you roll, and then again after, and see if they feel different, and maybe you have a little bit more mobility in those legs. Good, and then let's release that. We'll just roll onto our back. We'll take that same right foot over the knee, and we're gonna draw those legs up towards the chest. So holding on behind the knee here, and bringing the legs nice and close. This top knee is opening out, taking a nice big breath. We're feeling this stretch around the back of the seat where we rolled there. It felt so nice. And then if you want, you can try taking a little tip of the legs. So you're gonna go towards this top foot, and you're just gonna shift those legs slightly to the side. Take a nice big breath there like that. Good, just gets at a little different part of the seat. Good, then we're gonna come back to the center. Place your left foot down, extend that top leg up. You can hold your calf or your thigh. Just try not to hold the knee joint. And then we're just gonna flex and point our foot. Good, a couple of times, finding that length through the back of the thigh all the way up into the back of the calf. That's it. And then we're going to lengthen that leg, take those hands overhead, reach the toes away. Let's pull the knees in, tuck the chin, and we'll roll it up. And let's swing our legs around to the other side of the body. So we'll pull that top leg in, finding our quad stretch here. Good, taking nice big breaths. We shouldn't feel any pinching in the knee. If we do, maybe don't pull so hard. Good. If you want more intensity, you can press the pelvis forward a touch. Big inhales and exhales. That's it. And just one more moment there. Good. And then let's roll onto our back. And we'll take that left foot over the right knee and draw those legs up towards the chest. Good. So if we want to increase the stretch, we can almost think about dropping the tailbone down onto the floor a little bit to help increase that stretch. And then if you want to try the adjustment, you're going to tip your legs towards this top foot slightly. So I'm coming this way, just 2 inches maybe. And breathing into that stretch there. Nice, this should feel really good. Never pushing the stretches. This is a little gift at the end. And let's come back to the center, putting that bottom foot down. Let's take that top leg up, holding either the thigh or the calf. We're going to flex and point. Good, thinking about drawing that tailbone down onto the floor. Length through the back of the neck. That's it. And then let's point that toe, reach those hands up, draw the tummy muscles in and lengthen the foot down. Bring your knees in, tuck your chin, roll it up. And you're all finished your roll and stretch. Thanks for joining me.